Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, as always, we're bringing you the first of many games this week, including this fascinating new one with a new friend, an old friend, and some new material. But most importantly, Orsha North, so that's the old friend, sort of. Rang, who's fighting, and what are they bringing for our amusement?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have Charles playing a 78th Sturm division with balanced income. And on the right-hand side, we have Bird and Rory are playing the new 84th Guard Strelkovy division, and he also has balanced income.
So, yes, please.
Oh yeah, in terms of like 84th, just quick rundown. Strokey DP spam. They got some IS-2s, but not much in terms of other tanks. So they do have KV-8, which are like flamethrower KV runs, but they only have a 45mm and like decent artillery and air power and whatnot.
So yes, exactly. So what can you tell us about the other one? Obviously, we're not going to see the other German division.
You cut out,
here.
yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry?
You just cut out that part. Can you just repeat what you said?
Well, of course. I was going to say that this is, of course, only half of the new material. What are we going to see from the German side when and if that should come in this week?
That's 25th Panzer and Panzer Grenadier, not Panzers. They left the Panzers at home and only have the Grenadiers of the Panzers. But nonetheless, they're pretty much like 17th SS in array from SD-44, just Stugs, half-track infantry, artillery, that sort of infantry sort of style, but with Panzer Grenadiers.
Certainly exciting. I'm actually ready for that, but I confess even more so, I'm excited to see the KV-8. This is the first time Eugene has brought this on board. Last time I saw this was Company of Heroes 2.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe in like one like historical scenario, but that's really it. It's really good seeing him in multiplayer because it's a really cool tank.
It is. It is certainly quite hefty. Now, how is this matchup going to go? 78th versus 84th. Obviously, we haven't seen the divisional matchup for everyone. But how should it go up in theory?
Well, 78th does have the STG spam, so the STGs have been nerfed in the recent patch by like the 40% accuracy instead of 50%. So we'll see how that plays out. But longer ranges, those Strokey DPs are pretty scary. And those IS-2s as well, so for Charles it's going to be having to use his Pack 43s and Nashorns to deal with those big, heavy tanks. But they're probably not going to come online until B or C phase.
Now, with that in mind as well, I haven't asked the question I always ask. What's the air power look like for our new Soviet division?
It's nothing really too crazy. They got some IL-2 37mm and like some decent aircraft here and there, but nothing really too much to write home about. I think they have pretty good AAO, which is nice.
Now, we are seeing a relatively, I would say, consistent opening from both sides. We actually have a ton of Abusiers coming. Oh no, M245. Okay. Several artillery pieces going onto that central hilltop, little round top developing right there in the Soviet lines at north central position, and a very early, Tupolev, whatever the heck that company is, recon plane coming on in to get some eyes, which I think is always a great call.
It's going to be seeing all of those shootings and Sturm shootings as Charles tries to rush to that northern hill, which is probably a very good play. That's going to be perfect for his STG infantry to just wreak absolute havoc.
Indeed. Now, I think the thing's going to be amusing almost for me is that we have the Flammenwerfer troop who's trying desperately to get to the front lines, and we have a Snipiri squad that's shooting at the motorbike, which I cannot help but feel is oddly very Great Escape-ish.
Hopefully there's no barbed wire nearby.
Exactly. I'll keep that movie or trivia in the back of my pocket for right now, but if we have a lull in the action, I do want to share something about, apparently, the new Tarantino movie. ME-109 going in after that scout plane, obviously going to be a very, very dead scout plane if you ever get a head-on going on with that, and very quick. That'll be soon enough. And we have a very expected kind of opening. 1311, lots of tanks to the north, but of course, the 78th has an absolute ridiculous amount of AT on its early infantry.
Oh yeah, you got all the bloody Panzerfaust with your shootings, and then the AT grenades. And those KV-8s, they are pretty scary, of course, against infantry. They have flamethrowers, but, you just sneak in a Panzerschreck squad or sneak in with a Panzerfaust, especially in this area. Yeah, that tank dies pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was taking a look at the ranges just now. 160 meters on that KV8, almost at yards. I'm going to speak in a much more, sophisticated talk, I think. But we are going to see the Panzer Vernichtungstungs kind of, I would say, playing backstop.
Yeah,
I guess. Sorry, go for it, please.
Yeah, it's a bit more on defensive. I do see some people rushing Panzer squads very aggressively early on, and it usually gets them killed. So having them behind your main troops is usually the best way to go.
Agreed. Now we are going to have an Automachiki and a Sturmschützen going in next to each other here. Meeting engagement. I know where my money is, but I want to hear yours.
I'm actually curious to see, because this accuracy nerf may give Automachiki an actually running chance in this, and it definitely seems so. It does make sense, it's an SMG squad.
Yeah, but the sheer amount of firepower, I think I have a minor issue with that. Now, they're moving in, of course, we're having a bit of an accuracy debuff because of that. KV8 trying to get for close support. I do not think that's going to go well for them.
Yeah. And then the SCG squad still wins. And yeah, I mean, yeah, SCGs are still good, guys.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And part of me want to see the Flammenwerfer go up against the KV8. Just if nothing else to see one squad bellow to the other one, come on, baby, light my fire. But regardless, I think this early KV8 play is going to get shut down pretty quickly.
Yeah, we're seeing some strafing there. Also, I want to know that strafing has been nerfed quite a bit in the recent patch. They just completely redone the entire bloody thing. But still, managing to scare the KV8, and the other one is going to be pulling back, which is probably a smart move.
Indeed. Usually, you know, when there's an airplane, there's a reason to be backing up. But that's pretty much where the major amount of action is coming across the map. We do have some more squads of guards coming into the center position. More Automachiki getting himself set up for another, I think, push forwards. I don't know if I really like that particular position here. I would rather just keep the tanks and maybe to dispose the infantry to the south central to their town. What do you think?
In terms of up north?
Yes, so get those Automachiki squads, rush them down south. You see where we have an Automachiki and guard squad in the Soviet town. I would stick them there.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna get ambushed along the rays. The Sturmschützen on a fantastic position. This entire northern sector is pretty much coming under Charles' control pretty quickly. It does have its Su-76, which I do like having it so close to the front line because it can use its own corrected shot efficiently.
True. Now, we are going to see this poor Automachiki squad getting, put into quite an enfilade of fire. Luckily for him, Charles very quickly throwing his own Sturmschützen back. But we have a danger of a pocket forming.
Oh yeah, it's very close. Very close.
But I guess I do like this 37mm being brought on into the north. If nothing else, it can be used very aggressively on keeping that infantry at bay.
But yeah, killing all the infantry coming in was definitely, well, most of the infantry is definitely a huge blow to Burden Warrior's front line. As his KV8s, they're pretty blind. You only have a command squad, or leader squad nearby to be their eyes on, and all they have to take is, one good AT grenade, one good Panzerfaust, and that flamethrower tank goes up in flames.
And with it, all of their hopes and dreams. Now we are going to see guard squads are beginning to shamble across the center position here. Going to be very, very optimistic positions in the far forest. And I might be wrong here, but yes, getting more IG-18s is Charles, and he's bringing Martyrs both to the northern and southern approaches. How do you feel about those?
Definitely an interesting choice. It's hard to use them more closer quarter engagements, especially with KV8 with the shorter barrel, not the shorter barrel, but the smaller gun does shoot a little bit faster compared to that Pak 40 on the Martyr 2. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be definitely helpful later on when those IS-2s come online, because at least you have a chance to do some damage with the APCR shells.
Now, while I was just discussing that with you, if you look at the southern side of the map, it is very blue indeed. A sustained rush by a lot of Sturmschützen and Pigrens. Actually, no, excuse me, just regular Schützen and Sturmschützen. I always look at that silhouette will always be Pigrens to me.
I know. They still shoot a lot, but they're not Panda Grenadiers.
It looks like it's going to be slowly creating the Fortress Rodina over here for the Germans. IG-18 being poured into there. I imagine the Martyr is going to get set pretty far forwards. Yes, on that southern approach. So I really like that play. I think Burden Warrior is kind of missing an opportunity here.
Yeah, I really do like getting that fire support up immediately. You know, those are great fire support vehicles to have, especially on that hill of the high ground. Yeah, overall, Charles has been doing an absolute bang-up job so far in A phase. He's got a 2-point lead on his opponent. He's pretty much playing it where it counts on the flanks of the infantry, because as you do 78, you just win every single infantry engagement.
Makes sense. In the meantime, though, we are going to see the KV-8 up north. One of them has actually already gone down. The second one might be needs to be a little bit careful here. Might see a second one getting killed pretty quick.
Ooh. Yeah, the Panzer Strike Squad. He's getting in close. Yeah, that's gonna be a dead KV-8. A really dead KV-8. There's Sturm shooting coming in from behind. Oh boy. It's pretty ironic getting incendiary in a flamethrower tank.
Yeah, it's one of those moments you kind of think to yourself, wait a second, this isn't in the script.
No, we're meant to be putting people on incendiaries, not ourselves.
Yes, exactly. And actually, you know what? With that in mind, geez, Charles is very finely placing himself.
Yeah, he pushed out of infantry, now he's setting up more of the defensive structure to hold on. And now, it's just really good play. Yeah, I'm thinking once we hit B phase, Bird and Rory definitely will maybe, you know, start hitting a little bit harder with some IS-2s, because those things are real bloody powerhouses, especially against 78, where they don't really have real heavy tanks. It's just the national ones and Pack 43s, and with the HE guns and those IS-2s, you can do a lot of lovely infantry fire support against those rather scary Sturm shooting infantry.
Even more interesting to me is that we have these IG-18s, though, on Charles' side, which I think, well, kind of the band-aid that's going to keep this center more or less fairly unwounded.
Mm-hmm. We've seen some T-34s down south. One of the IG-18s actually got sniped as it was being brought up here by a 45mm.
Oh, wow.
And even some big leap pioneers coming in down south to try and help reinforce Charles' southern hill, as really seen a push from Bird and Roria. We've just some sapperies on an open field. Not going to get too far, the IG-18 firing down on them.
No, they won't. Can we also just acknowledge the brave Flammenwerfer in the center part of the field? Frithman, who has held his nerve, and legitimately has just been crushing those guards as they came towards him.
Yeah, real. I was going to say one-man army, but it's two guys here. Two-man army. Army of two. There we go.
Well, brothers in arms.
Mm-hmm. Brothers in flames.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But alright, so Puri's kind of... Oh, wow. And actually, I kind of forgot that we have a Flammenwerfer behind enemy lines there, but that's okay.
Yeah. Just chill out. How's the guy being shot by a sniper? He's probably just hiding in the windmill right now, like, don't poke your head out, sniper's still here.
Exactly. Meanwhile, to the north, one Flammenwerfer squad desperately trying to push back those two superior squads, and that's not generally what you want to do. They have explosives, which, not for nothing, tends to be a rather poor... How do I put this? A rather poor duel? I mean, I don't know, it's not a particularly fair fight, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I don't like being hit by satchel charges either. I don't think a lot of people would like having a satchel charge blow up next to them now that I think about it. It'd probably be a rather unpleasant experience.
True. Very true. Now we are going to see the IG-18s and the Pioneer Squad, excuse me, the Flammenwerfer Squad, have fallen, which has put this back to a 13-11. But for right now, we're doing okay. Yes, sir.
This is just definitely a very good call here from Bird and Roria trying to push the centers. This is rare. Charles is the weakest in terms of actual gameplay. His infantry aren't going to be as effective in the open ground, and in terms of his actual unit deployment, as he spent all his money on the flanks.
That does sound like it's the case. We do have this T-34 who's been just trying to engage that mortar to the south. But if you see that nice little pyre right there to his east, that was once another main battle tank. You know, IG-18, okay, so the IG-18 is 76.2. We're engaging each other, and with the 76.2 gets by with a little help from his friends.
Yeah.
With him fallen, this middle part of the field is rather open.
Indeed it is, and all we have to do is, well, really what you do with 84th is you get the guard DP spam and you just walk over the open field and something pops out its head, so you got a bunch of guard DPs. You just shoot with your DPs.
Indeed you can.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, ZSU's actually, well, superior LPOs being brought on, and that's kind of surprising.
Oh, yeah.
Not for nothing. Do you have any idea what LPO stands for? Because I admit I have not a single
I think that's
idea.
the name of the flamethrower.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah, it's the name of the flamethrower.
Gotcha.
Yeah, definitely, like, a very good counter to Ray's nasty Sturm shooting in the forest. I believe these are actually a new unit for 84th now, I recall.
The LPOs.
It's not like, yeah, because it's not like I was thinking like Sturmoviki LPO, which is 2 flamethrowers, but the Sapri LPO is only, it just replaced the satchel charge for flamethrower, which is, you know, good cool. I definitely like flamethrowers.
Now, shameful display. ME-109s come in and it forces back a brave T-34E? What madness is this?
almost on top of the hill, but yeah, it's just gonna buy Charles a little bit more time to get reinforcements here. Down south though, the Sapri LPOs not managing to getting close to their flamethrowers, unfortunately, and those Sturm shootings are just gonna shoot your way.
Worth noting, though, that with that other LPO squad just outside, obvious line of sight, still don't really want to be them.
Yeah.
Oof, and Pac-40 gets nuked by Yak. Well shot, sir, well shot.
Yeah, we got some second armada being brought into middle to help reinforce Charles. Are starting to realise that his middle of the map is rather unexposed, and Bird and Rory has managed to take a few flags back, bringing it to a much more reasonable 11-13.
Yes, indeed. Now,
Yeah.
ME-109 looking to get some vengeance for his fallen comrades, but you're going over the ZSU. Ugh. That's rough.
He's dead.
Yeah,
he's
dead.
totally dead.
His only hope? Okay, I thought for somehow maybe he would have been able to go after IS-2. I don't see that happening, though.
No. But this is a really good push from Bird and Rory on the hill. He's got more of those Sapri LPOs and after Machiki's. Also note Sapri LPOs have 2 machine guns, but the regular Sapris only have run, if I recall, so that's also a pretty awesome improvement.
T-34 is under incendiary right now, so he's just lost a good amount of weaponry. Still, you know, technically a fair fight. Now the Stoke and the Martyr are both going to go right into these LPOs. It's going to be painful. Very painful.
Yeah, the Marder could probably definitely die to the flamethrowers, but the Stugs should be fine.
That was dumb. Stug should be fine, but he's charging in like he's a... You are not Custer. Oh my gosh. And here's a dead Stug.
Yeah, that was silly. That was very silly from Charles.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, great use of the T-34, yeah, perfect position. Perfect timing.
Ooh,
that's
but you know what?
At the hill.
We have a gutsy T-34 who's going to discover that a Pac-40 beats him like a drum. Hasn't happened yet. It will soon, though.
Yeah, he just needs to move forward a little bit more, and yeah, Pac-40 usually wins that sort of engagement.
But we are back to 12-12 with that happening. What do you think? How's it going so far for the 84th?
It's going pretty well. Just pushing this middle has definitely captured a lot of ground here from Bird, and really his best bet now is to try and either hook down south or up north and try to, like, encircle one of these flanks. I think going up north would definitely work well if he tries to capture that town, as that it seems always a little bit hard to capture the towns in Orsha North. but you usually got the heals and fire support and stroke your DP spam to help you out.
Now, actually, I'm really kind of liking this, I'm not going to say perfect defense by Charles, but these Beglit Pioneers coming in, taking out a good amount of that T-34 support, and he's very restrained as opposed to what he can do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, without any infantry nearby, that T-34 is pretty much blind as a bat. And now we got some big league grenadiers being brought in to try and go into that forest. So Alvin Cheeky's might be to get, sneaky cheeky grenade kill. And okay, no, the big league grenadiers going to unload before they just rush down the road. Good call, Charles. Good call.
Also worth noting, down below, the Russians have managed to take back their side of the flags, which is not going to be too bueno for the Germans as of right now. A Yak actually just came in just to bombard that poor Sturmschützen behind enemy lines.
Yeah. I honestly, Burton Roy's been using the C-34s pretty well so far. That extra fire support is just having some medium tank on the field is definitely helping him deal with these rather annoying 78th Sturm infantry, because you can't fight them run the 78th Sturm infantry. You gotta bring in some friends to help you out, preferably armored friends with many machine guns.
Yes, well, that's the thing. You get by with a little help from your friends, so you always gotta keep that in mind. But down south, part of me wonders. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Part of me thought that maybe some other Sturmschützen could limp outside this forest and maybe pick up the T-34, which, it's iffy. He might be able to do it. It's a one-way trip, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Certainly see. And the Panzer Vernichtungstungs to the northeast of that. I'm surprised he's not going to try to take out a couple of these LPOs.
Yeah, up north things have been pretty quiet. I mean, yeah, Charles has set up a very lovely defensive position. He's trying to harass a bit to capture the barracks area, and I mean, if he deals with a KV-8, he'll pretty much get out, I think.
Now, where's that IS-2? He's been quiet. Okay, he's just kind of chilling. He's not really doing a whole lot.
Yeah, it's been very reserved with it. I think that's probably a good idea, especially now that he's starting to lose position on the hill down south, as the 78th is pouring all the infantry on that hill. But IS-2 is definitely going to force Charles to get some super heavy AT to deal with it.
Indeed. By the way, we are back to a 12-12. The resurgent German push here, T-34 cannot be close to those Bavarians, which is probably a good idea.
Yeah, those Bavarians are definitely going to have this... Yeah, they got bloody AT grenades. Just come in close, eat it at 100 meters, and that's a dead T-34. And T-34's on the southern side of that hill, or the lower side, be a bit more precise. So be pretty easy to just sneak up on. But no, he's gonna back out just in the nick of time.
Kolnaya Razvedka, what the heck are those things?
Where are they?
Center position, in trucks headed to the front, the Studebakers.
A new recon unit. Yeah, it's 84th Fab. I forgot their loadout, but we'll see once they jump out of their lovely American
It's minimalistic.
trucks.
It's minimalistic. I think it's like a PPS or two.
Yeah. If anyone knows, what does Kononaya means? I know Radevka means recon, but I'd like to know what that word means, Kononaya.
Is that how you say that?
I have no idea how to say it. How would you say it?
Konaya? I don't know.
Konaya? Konaya. I don't know. Maybe it's Kononaya. Who knows? People in YouTube comments will know.
Yes, but down south there's a big infantry push. It does look like Burden Warrior is like, you know what? I'm going to shift the burden of fighting to the south. He's an equal opportunity warrior.
Yeah, it's got the Strafniki spam being brought in, and you can never go wrong with Strafniki spam. You can never go wrong. And he's just gonna unload. Oh no, he loses run to machine gun fire or SCG fire, but there they go. That's like 100 guys on the field now, or 80 to be more precise, and that's 3 DPs a squad. You're gonna win open ground engagements.
Certainly hope to, anyway. We are going to see 3 German vehicles being brought to the center, but he's got to get some infantry to the south. He's going to get absolutely crushed if he doesn't.
Yeah, one of them is Nigel Khan.
Yes, indeed. So, place your bets now. How long is he going to last? Will he see? Will he see? Let's say the first non-sea phase.
I say he's probably gonna die around about the 27-minute mark, like club 27.
Club 27.
Club. 27 club.
I'll take the Club 27. That works for me.
Okay.
Now, better yet, though, we're actually going to see some Nebelwerfers coming on in the Unentfiert models. So maybe with a little bit less boom than I want to. We have this mortar that's been up top for a hefty amount of time. I think Charles was just kind of said, "Artillery, what's that?" And just letting the kind of chill. Yeah, exactly. Who does need it?
It's really interesting watching these replays, 1v1 replays, because sometimes you see people use both sides use artillery heavily, or it's just barely any at all. And for most of the match, this has been a non-artillery match. We've seen a few Su-76s, or like one Su-76 been used up north, but that's really been it. And there's another one down south, but I haven't really seen much action from it. It's always interesting to see. I mean, the Kunai are a pretty light loadout, by the way. It's just like 2 PPS-8s and 9 Mosins. They're just a beefy squad in terms of numbers.
Yeah, which I find rather amusing. Part of me almost sees them as the Fusiliers.
Yeah.
Or the Freiwilliger from the last game.
Yeah, just not as cool. Not as cool. I prefer using the smaller recon squad personally, but that's just my taste.
Well, it makes more historical sense, you know? You're not going to go and stick 30 guys. Like, okay, this is my recon platoon. Go, guys, be sneaky. Tell me what you see, all 70 men.
Yeah, I mean, who'd send 100 guys to do a recon patrol? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why'd you send 4 when you can send 40?
Or 400.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard that's actually the Battle of Thermopylae. It wasn't 300 Spartans to defend, it was 300 Spartans to scout. So that's how that worked. In the meantime, though, we are going to see that the Germans have to be kind of careful. We have 3 squads of Strelkovniki moving in. There's 1 squad of Schutzen. They are rushing more infantry into the area, but we've seen firsthand consistently how hard it is to dig out infantry that takes that position.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Nebelwerfers, by the way, doing their thing. Freaking out troops, getting some people nice and freaked. Stress galore, but when all is said and done, not really the biggest concern. Ooh, look east, the Vernichtungs. There's a IS-2 coming up, so it's going to be an attempt at a cheeky-beaky kill, and it's not going to get it, I don't think. That was a really awesome idea.
How the hell did Jack get yet?
Oh, he's been there for like 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe he just, teleported in from the sky. Speaking of sky, we've seen a few of these Akron bombers be brought in, but haven't really done too much in terms of impact.
Well, he's going after that Rhino, so...
Oh no.
And it's the hero, so will it be 27? Club 27?
Or Club 25?
Nah.
No.
He has not yet begun to fight, he bellows, and goes back into the fray. Meanwhile, to the south, the Russian push has stalled, but not for lack of trying. A couple of squads getting picked up here and there. And the German infantry does get into play. Oh no, never mind. One by one, they're getting taken out by PTRD shots. 3 squads all go down. Yeesh.
Yeesh, yeah, I really do like how he's moving through the forest. And now he's going to capture the barracks there. And a nice Strelkovniki once again to the barracks. They're so hard to dig out, man. Like, trying to kill a 20-man infantry squad takes forever. It just takes all the bloody time. And that's what makes Strelkovniki such good infantry.
Well, that's why you don't really worry about taking back the territory. You destroy the territory, and then, no building, no problem.
Yeah. Strelkovniki are like your tank class in World of Warcraft. And I'd say you have a healer, but not really. I guess DPS is artillery.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, healers... Well...
Well, Nebelwerfers are your glass cannons.
Yeah. Natural ones too.
Exactly. Almost literally glass cannons in that case.
Yeah.
PTRDs are doing their ridiculous work over here against those poor Stugs. Engine destroyed on one of them. Considering he's not showing his backside, I have absolutely no idea how he was able to lose his engine, but, whatever.
Yeah. That's the thing about just AT rifles. The nice thing having them on a lot of Russian squads is they usually don't kill, but you can get some nice criticals, especially if you get like a side shot too.
Indeed. But we are going to see Nigelid's going to make it through that first 27-minute mark, so the over-under is in. And unload your troops, thank you. I was going to say, unload your freaking troops. If you lose them, I'm going to be really, really quite put out.
Yeah. All of Charles's troops, who are Char German, have been completely surrounded down south. Or sneaky Panzerstrike squad here from Burden, Russian Panzerstrike squad. Gonna be killing... Never mind, doesn't kill the anti-aircraft piece. He blew his one shot.
There's one opportunity.
Yeah.
Man.
Man, oh man, oh man. Oh, T-34, what are you doing? Don't do that. Don't rush in unsupported.
I'm not sure where I'm looking. Oh, down south.
Down
oh,
south.
yeah.
Down south, yeah.
Fire another grenade! There we go. Look at that. The German ones actually do work.
Huh.
I'm so used to seeing them having, like, awkward fuses that just don't happen to go off. There's the whole thing.
Yeah, sometimes the Germans stick it on the wrong way. It's like, why is it not sticking, Khan? That's the handle hands.
Which is pretty impressive, considering they were magnetized, rather.
Do you think that's something that you could, like, put on your fridge? I'd actually want one of those on my fridge. Decommissioned, of course.
I was going to say, I'm really worried about you right now. JU-188 is going to plaster this T-34.
Oh, God, yeah. So sorry, just back to you, but just imagine someone, like, putting that on the fridge. It's like, yeah, look at my new fridge on, and boom.
Oh, dear Christ. He just freaked out his own troops. The only one who wasn't freaked out was the freaking T-34.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing you gotta be careful with those carpet bombers is they carpet a large area, and that carpet can extend to your troops.
Ooh, and although his death does herald the end of 2 Russian planes, the Ju-188 goes down. Worth noting as well, we're actually going to get the Soviet kind of Russian Gruppe to the north. 4 squads of DPs, 2 T-34s, and I think they're getting prepped to try to take back this northern hillside. So Burden Warrior learning from his earlier errors and definitely working both sides of the map, and just in time too, because he's lost the south. At least I would argue he's lost the south.
Yeah, he pushed pretty hard, but the push didn't push all the way, unfortunately. So putting that pressure up north is definitely going to be a smart call here from Burden.
And 2 more Junkers coming on in.
Yeah, in terms of points, Burden Warrior is still lower in terms of total score, but he is slowly bleeding Charles.
Yes,
up
he
plus
is.
1. And it's
Yes,
JU's.
Oh my gosh, he's going to actually hammer this infantry. 50 kgs. The artillery's dead. So is the infantry, or pretty close, I would argue. Wow. That was surprisingly underwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, it fell a little bit too short, it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, we do seem to have a bit of a Christmas truce between these Beglit pioneers and this Konega Razvedka behind the front line here.
I wonder if it is... I think it's because of the hill, technically. Like, slightly lower elevation? No. Those Kanaya are just really sneaky, I guess.
I could not tell you for sure. What I can tell you is that Charles is looking to take back the barracks, and while full-strength Strafniki squads are more than enough to hold the line, I don't know if a barely alive one will manage to keep it in touch here.
Yeah, especially with a lot of shooting when they're shooting at you. You're not going to hold that card, unfortunately. That's going to bring it back to an even 12-12, giving Charles a bit more breathing room. And now both sides are still going pretty strong. I mean, they're both using balanced decks, so there should be more C-phase focus. It's like it's going to come down a bit more to a war of attrition, which for both decks have pretty good attritional capabilities. Yeah, we haven't really seen many IS-2s really be brought out.
Well, we had the one down to the south, and I have no idea what the hell happened to it. My guess is just a very, very unlucky exchange of firepower. Because Lord knows it wasn't that behind the lines Beglit Grenadier.
Yeah, it probably went kaboom somewhere.
probably very accurate. But the Soviets are very much losing the south. Their infantry is broken and dismayed. And I don't think they have a ton of infantry. Yeah, they're going to get a couple squads up, but it's going to be another 30 or 45 seconds.
Yeah.
That's asking an awful lot here. I'm not sure they can get there in time.
Yeah, but yeah, this is a great counterpost here from Charles as he goes and yeah, just move up all the Sturm shoots, and once again with 78th Sturm, CQC, Forest, all of that, you win because of the Sturm shoots and you don't have to worry about anything. Absolutely, well, like flamethrowers and sound charges, but that's really it.
You know, you were worried about the IS-2. If you look to the north, you are going to see the IS-2 and his T-34 compatriots are starting to shell the northern German position.
That's what they are.
So what's being done about that? Well, not a hell of a lot, but we are going to see an off-map 210 Schwimmenwagen being brought on in. So I would imagine the Germans are gearing themselves up for their own push as well. Mm-hmm. Another IS-2 coming on in.
Yeah, and it's definitely cool seeing some off-map being brought in. It has been buffed in the recent patches, or the current patch, as now it does more shots per barrage, so that's good. It's very good. There's definitely a bit more reason to use off-map now. Which is such a weird thing to say, because how terrible it was in SD44. But in SD2, it's kind of meh. Yeah,
I'm happy you agree with me. I'm always nervous to voice that kind of opinion. It's rather unpopular, at least it was, I think, early on.
Yeah.
By the way, more Stokes coming into the south, more Schützen into the north. These Nebelwerfers are ready to go. I'm surprised he's not gone and fired another barrage, especially to the south. That could put the entire Soviet southern flank to flight.
Oh yeah, just shoot the barrage and then move in and clear the rest up with Sturm shooting, because not much in terms of CQC infantry down south even better than Roy. It's mainly just Shrefniki and Guard DPs, which are more open field troops.
Well, I can also say that this is a all-in on the north. Pretty much this entire IS-2 cards are being applied to them. We've seen 3 in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's a lot of IS-2s, and hopefully it'll be enough. Because they're fantastic infantry for support, the 50 cal and the big HE cannon for sure. It's just wherever he can get him into the right position. There's a Pak 43 north in town a little bit, but he's getting pounded by Soviet artillery, and there's the off-map coming in. And good lord, that's pretty devastating.
Oh, it's beautiful to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those extra shells definitely seems much more extra.
Well, it makes more sense, It seemed like the off-map barrage just seemed so anemic before.
Yeah, it's a real shame. But now that's good. That's good. I'm very happy with the balance for off-map now.
Worth also noting that we are going to see that mortar, that 120mm mortar, still in a truck. He's just still chilling.
Come on, Charles. What are you doing? I think the mortar crews took a nap in the truck and they just don't want to wake up. Charles is too afraid to wake them up.
No, they're too busy watching the tube.
Jesus Christ, Colin.
Yeah, well, what can I say?
Yeah.
Germans are not looking to lose this south. They have 7 more squads coming in, 3 Schützen and 3 Sturmschützen and an officer. So all of that, they're just burying the southern approaches in blue. Just at the same time as their infantry up north is going to get plastered by another artillery barrage. Yikes. Ooh, wow, it's even hitting his own troops. And there's a friendly fire. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now we're seeing the game develop a little bit more. This match. We're starting to see quite a bit more in terms of artillery use now. Those SU-76s are pound on the rain, of course. Charles using the off-map artillery. And that's definitely going to slow down any advances, especially these infantry-focused divisions, because it's pretty easy to hit moving infantry compared to a moving tank.
Pak 43, by the way, in the center, takes out an IS-2.
Ooh.
Southeast of where we have our lone Flammenwerfer squad that's been there for 30 minutes. Oh, man.
He's still like, is that sniper still here? Yeah, he is. Okay, let's just keep our heads down. Hopefully no one wants his strategically important windmill.
Pak 43 to the north, also engaging another IS-2. I don't know. If I'm the IS-2s, I need to get out of there post-haste, because I am not going to win a gunfight with a Pak-43.
Yeah, you're just not going to. Those Pack 43s are absolutely
And another
scary.
kill? Jeez, that's a hefty loss right there.
Yep. And those IS, it's pretty hard to replace those IS2s. You can get anywhere from really like 6 to 9 roughly with 84th, depends on how you build your deck. So you don't want to be throwing them away like that.
Ooh, I like the placement of this last artillery barrage. If he gets lucky and takes out the commander, that's going to be a hefty amount of damage.
That's a huge kill, knocking out the commander if he does that. And it's only a 4-man squad, so it's not unlikely.
No, one unlucky shot here, and poof, you've just been promoted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Charles is doing a very good job in his attritional warfare. He's got the infantry. He's slowing down the progress up north with a good use of his off-map artillery and the Pak-43. I mean, there's not really much going in terms of... Well, Burden Royce has captured another flag, but Charles still has a lot of bleed time.
Supply has just died. The officer's pinned down. The tanks are freaking out. And we're getting super close. I feel like it's just a whisker away.
I know.
Wow, a T-34's been killed by it. Or they might have been the Pak-43. Either way, this is the time. You attack now. Their army is just broken. IS-2 goes down. Jeez.
How... All of that died, but the commander lived.
Well, because he was protecting the rear.
Yeah. I think I had a gentleman's agreement with the artillery, like hey, like try not to hit the enemy commanders. All right, we want to keep the officers alive.
Well, just imagine the masses of men having at each other with no leaders.
Yeah, they're very civilized on the Eastern Front. It was a very clean and nice war. Nothing bad went down.
No, not in the Eastern Front. No, of course not.
Nice. Everything was... They all hugged up afterwards.
Einsatzgruppen, they were exterminating actual rats. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know already, Einsatzgruppen were extermination squads that went back and forth across the Eastern Front.
Terrible.
Yeah. Absolutely mercilessness.
Yeah. We're joking about that, but fuck Einsatzgruppen. What?
Yeah.
Terrible war crimes that was.
Yes.
Okay.
Returning to more, quote, serious moments, we do have a couple of Guard and Strafniki squads being pulled into the Soviet pocket to the south. That's kind of amusing to me. We have a combat motorcycle, we have an Su-76, and we have a Studebaker that's right there. And I think those are the only things keeping, I would say, the Soviet southern flank in any kind of good shape.
Well, I find bizarre is he has 2 commanders in his deck.
Yeah,
you never see it.
Weird, isn't it?
What? That is... Huh.
Ooh, Naval Barrage takes out an Su-76 to the north, and the pocket to the north gets weaker still. This is getting... I would say the situation is getting rather dire over here for the Soviets. I think they're starting to run low. Naval strike to the south, 2 Naval strikes to the south, going to be hammering that barracks. Probably going to be some friendly fire on that poor Sturmschützen in the area, but just see what happens.
Yeah, I definitely feels like 78th is winning this war of attrition. I think it's really just coming down to the infantry engagements, and for 78th, you just win the closer range infantry engagements, and Burden Roya is giving him such pleasure by moving his infantry a little bit too close. And his sniper effort is pretty much on point in just suppressing Burden Roya's front line down south, getting some pretty good hits and all those guards and whatnot.
Indeed. Naval though, they do crush that. We're back to a 12-12, and honestly, very lucky that it's not even more than that. 120's finally getting themselves into action. Going to be pounding that factory complex, and I think just ready to go and freak those guard squads out. And once that happens, that will be an Axis position.
I was not going to lie, I was hoping that 120 never actually unloaded.
Actually, is it the same ones?
Yeah.
Schumacher and Bremer, yeah.
Yeah.
But all of the artillery positions are being marked by the Soviets as these 105s are engaging from the absolute other side of the map. And I think the 120, yeah, Soviet 122 is going to be engaging in the other direction, as is this 203. Desperate counter battery fire being deployed.
Yeah, just... I think it's like an increasing with every single Steel Division match. Once it eventually goes past like the 30-40 minute mark, it just comes down to artillery spam. It's like the artillery equation. Doesn't matter what, doesn't matter when. By that time, everyone just buys the artillery.
Well, it's a Lancaster. There's a Lancaster laws.
Yeah.
Which, if you're not familiar with them, is an absolutely fascinating bit of discovery, so I'm not going to ruin that right now in this particular cast. Ju-188 is going to come in to just shellac whatever remains of the Soviet infantry, and while this is Pavel's factory, I don't know how much longer this will be Pavel's. Another Ju-188 to the north going after that position. I think this might be the end of that officer squad. No, he's going after the factory again. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. But even though Burden Roy is losing his war of attrition, he's still bleeding Charles.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
And the Sturmschützen getting behind enemy lines, he's got to know where some of this artillery is. Should be able to engage it pretty easily, and he's got 2 Sturmschützen squads up against 1 Guard DP. I know where my money is, and it ain't on the Russians. You don't bet on red in this situation.
No, you don't. No, you do not. Yeah, things are just not looking good for Persian Warrior anymore. I mean, yeah, down south, the Sturmschützen are just clearing through the forest easy peasy, like.
But let's be fair.
Yeah.
We thought Burden Warrior was going to be knocked out about 8 minutes into this. He's pulled it back very well.
Mm-hmm. He may want to get that bike command out there ASAP, which is exactly what he's doing, or was doing. I mean, don't want to have, especially with a bike, you just want to get out of the firing zone. It's pretty close to being hit by artillery.
Yes, he is. And the Su-76 is doing supremely close in firing.
Mm-hmm.
And while, while the Soviet fighter was coming in to do a little bit of, let's call it, moderate strafing runs, gets picked off by an Me-109, so well done there. With that in mind, 4 Strokes being brought on the field. This is how you know Charles has got to be feeling gutsy.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not investing in any infantry anymore. Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
Doesn't the southern front line look like a snake?
The southern front line.
With the red, kind of looks like a snake.
Sure. I guess I was looking more like a mouth with a tongue hanging out, because I'm not going to go anything dirtier.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see the snake. I could see it. Ugh. Well, Schützenführer, okay, so IS-2, this is, okay, IS-2 dies, that's the end of the southern flank. It is, like, who cares about the Su-76?
Pretty much. Jesus Christ, there's just a lot of infantry Charles has. Just looking at it down south, it's just platoons worth of angry German dudes. We've got like a platoon of stugs being brought in up north. Or
company.
Middle, I should say. Company.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, is that they're not really using that infantry to their advantage. At this point, I'd be pinching and taking out this Guard TP squad. I'd be pushing the Sturmschützen to kind of aggress onto the IS-2. He can't see me if I go across the road, so I might as well.
Yeah.
But you know what, still, it is 13-11. Can hardly fault Charles for just kind of playing a little more cautiously. He's definitely been behind the 8-ball for a bit in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But right back to the north again. Yep, he loses the factory complex just because of that plucky Voivod UPR squad.
Leading from the front.
More 105s being brought on in, so you're absolutely right. It is the artillery spam. Kind of think it would be quite that obvious, but you are correct, sir.
Yeah, and we're just seeing some counter battery fire on the Russian artillery pieces in the middle, and they're getting some pretty good hits. That's the lovely thing with the German artillery. You got those correct shot bonuses.
Yes, and while you're not going to see a lot of mobility out of the German artillery, I think the bang more than makes up for it.
Yeah. Got a lot of bang. But a lot of bucks too.
True. Also, very, very true.
Mm-hmm. We're seeing a bit of a push in the middle now here from Charles. It's definitely the best play. This is now probably a more exposed part of Burden Warrior's front line. And there's some pretty juicy flags up to grabs here in the middle area.
Like the Flammenwerfer squad, who will finally have allies again.
I know, he's been for bloody 45 minutes now. He's just been in that windmill.
Wait,
alone.
Russian tube artillery to the north.
Oh, yeah, they got Katyusha. Oh yeah, I got Katyushas, yeah.
And doing a decent amount of damage. Not a ton, mind you, but a decent amount. If nothing else, panicking people.
Yeah, it's gonna shut up the artillery for a little bit, but not permanently, which is a bit of a shame for Burdened.
But perhaps a rather darkly humorous posture here is we have that Stug platoon or company or whatever size that you might have been right before. They just kind of start to slowly amble on in and just start shelling everything. So I would imagine we're going to see this flag become blue once more.
Yeah, but it's not really much in terms of AT in the middle here for Burden Warrior, so yeah, just some infantry fire support. Those thugs can move on through.
Also worth noting, IS-2 to the south, gun is jammed. So he's got to get back quite a bit to even have the hope of repair, and I don't think that's going to happen. Oh no, there's a Studebaker coming in at long last to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, though. I kind of feel like the Soviets are somewhat on their last legs.
Yeah, he's just kind of ran out of stuff at this point. I feel like he's withdrawn a bit more to artillery and whatnot, but it seems like he ran out of the infantry spam. And yeah, just look at the map in terms of the mini map in terms of just, you know, blue versus red squares, and there's I'm no mathematician, but it definitely seems like there's many more blue squares.
Aren't you looking to go into coding?
Kind of.
Okay, I'm suddenly very nervous about the future of IT.
I just use a calculator.
Ah, well, that's true. Now we are going to see the southern LEFHs doing their work. Where's the other? Okay, the other batteries to the north. Where are they trying to engage? Interestingly to me, we're dropping a ton of smoke, so he's trying to take that town. Which, the first time I saw that, I was going to go almost like light of it. But this is a brilliant maneuver.
Yeah, I like it. It's going to allow him to get a foothold into the town, and there's really not much here. It's just one guard TP squad, and a scary zoo, but there's a slug nearby which can help out with that.
No, but the thing about zoos is that they have tons and tons of cages.
Mm-hmm. and animals.
Indeed. Not really great for defense, though. There's a lot of holes in those bars. ZSU is now going to get picked up pretty quickly between getting shellacked by the anti-vehicle or even just some of the ground fire from some of the infantry. And it buys the farm pretty quickly. Jeez.
Yeah, Charles is really just mopping up the middle now. There's really not much here to stop him. And he's bringing even more troops from up north. It's just so much bloody infantry. Blood Warrior's got off map of his own, dropping in some 203mm up north here, and that should kill those shooters or do some pretty heavy damage.
Well, the question is, will they get hit by the first barrage, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, never mind. All right, had they been hit by the first barrage at that point, it would have been game over, man. We have 3 more 105 howitzers coming from the central west. But there we go. Pinned down, that's better than being completely blown up, so.
Yeah, the town in the middle is pretty much completely collapsed now. Yeah, there's great use of smoke, and Charles in that lovely +2 point advantage. Yeah, Burden Warriors pretty much lost the match.
You're an optimist. You say +2. I say not -2. But
oh yeah. I always keep thinking of an SC race where you're trying to gain points, but in SC2 you're trying to make your opponent lose points.
Now, if you want to go and take a long view of this map, it is oddly beautiful just to watch all these artillery contrails go in every direction.
Oh yeah. It's really cool. Game looks great. We say it every time, but this game looks bloody great.
But it's as true then as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, the ZSU is coming in towards the actual town. You poor, poor blind fool. He's getting plucky. Get in there, friend. Get in there.
What are you doing?
Nope, never mind, okay. But indeed, even the southern side, though, I'm surprised the Soviets have as much a grip as they do on this southern kind of barracks area. What they do have, it will die very quickly, but all the same.
Yeah, they've managed to hold on just barely. Just barely. I think just having... I would say have fire support, but I really don't have really any fire support. I need more on that hill. I think it's really just down to the fact I got better long-range infantry. And the off-map artillery helps out a bit too. But yeah. That's a lot of tutus being brought in.
I was just looking down to the south. Wow, yeah, so he might die, but he's gonna know where everything is at the end of it all.
Mm-hmm.
He has just thrown... Yeah, this is how you know he's out of everything. He has no more investment for, you know, real infantry.
Yeah. Even bringing some IO-237s up north. Gotta be trying to do a strafing run or two, I guess.
Is he trying to... Is that guy... Oh, he was actually going after the anti-air. Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing.
One's gonna get through.
No, it's not.
Oh no, he loses line of sight and completely misses. And he's... I'd say he's gonna die, but this is an IO-2 we're talking about.
Yeah, surprisingly beefy.
Yeah, you need like a surface air missile to shoot him down, I swear.
Now, one final artillery barrage to the north looks like this would be enough to see the factory at long last, whatever the heck you want to call that, the barracks, in German hands? Just maybe? No? You gonna tease us with that? Alright, so never mind, we're gonna get teased. That could have thought that might have been a German position, but that will not be. Meanwhile, the Flammenwerfer in the center part of the map will have been the... How do I call this? Maybe the umpire for the entire match.
Literally slap bang in the middle, just watching everything go.
A true observer to the fight.
Same with the sniper. They've just been... They have an odd friendship between one another. Neither side has really done anything useful, but they've just been there. They've been with us this entire time. A true constant in our lives.
And with that, Burden Warrior does surrender. And if you look at the KD, good lord, I didn't think it was quite that severe. But looking at kills...
Oh, wow.
One T-34 distinguishes himself, Ostrovniki doing it pretty well. But really, a lot of the Soviet equipment is not supremely impressive. Now, the reverse, though. Sturmschützen, one squad there. There's got to be a couple of standouts. No, there's not. For the most part, I think it's the death of the IS-2s which really kind of put that giant gap between them.
Yeah, and I think it really just came down to just the infantry attrition, like I said before. As we saw once, Burden Warrior wasn't being able to field the massive amount of infantry. He just lost.
Yes, very true. And you can tell the chronology too. First 8 minutes, all German.
Oh yeah.
And we do go back and forth for a bit, but then we have these short spurts where it's just like a ton of infantry or equipment for the Russians just goes down. And I guess that's all she wrote, isn't it?
Pretty much. Real good game, here. Both sides held in pretty long, but Charles held in just a little bit longer. Indeed,
he did. And folks, after that whole marathon of a game, do get up, stretch a little bit, and check back in the next couple of days, I think, for another match. If, of course, Ren, you have anything else to add?
No.
Well, folks, in that case, then, until next time, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rengru. Take it easy.